Now back to Kenny and JT on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Best pick and roll combo in Canton. It doesn't get any better.
He said not as cold tomorrow as today.
Right.
It's going to be
by 15 degrees.
Yeah, 18 instead of 19. I don't know.
No, it says it's going to get up into the 30s tomorrow. I'll take that. Hey, it'll start melting some of this snow. Gee, mini Christmas. Not sure what the weather's like in Philadelphia, but I do know on a daily basis what happens. They make cheesesteaks like nobody else can make cheesesteaks. So right now, JT, let's make let's do an over-under before we ask him. Right. I'm going to say over-under of 3.5 cheesesteaks. How many cheesesteaks has Tim Alcorn eaten?
Jones said the other day 5.
5. So you're taking the over.
I'm taking the even. I'm going to go the over, yeah.
I'm going the over as well. I think he's had like 7 cheesesteaks already since he's been in Philadelphia after calling last night's win. Let's find out from the man himself. He joins us right now on the Kenny and JT show. Tim, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Now, when you have a Philly cheesesteak, do you do whiz wit? Do you know what whiz wit is?
It's like the cheese spread, isn't it?
The whiz is the cheese whiz. Wit is with onions.
Gotta have it.
Get a Philly cheesesteak whiz wit. You want the cheese and the onions.
Yep.
For me, I pass on the onions. What about you?
Hey, if they put it on it, I want it. Absolutely.
Tim, is there, you know what, to me, it probably makes this sandwich, and I've never been there, it's got to be the bun. Have you tried different cheesesteaks when you're in Philly?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's now, by the way, you're both off. I'm under. I'm under that number. So, but yeah, there's different places that are just renowned for their Philly cheesesteak, and they all have a little bit of different flavor and the buns. Yes, you're exactly right about that.
So how off are we? We said over 3.5. Wait, what are you at? 1, 2, 3. Well, how far did we miss?
I'm at 0 so far.
Oh, geez.
What?
It is on the lunch menu for tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. I'm not leaving without having 1, maybe 2.
Okay, there we go. I figured that. At least 2. You got to have at least 2. Oh, Tim Alcorn, our guest, Cavs radio play-by-play man. You heard his highlights from earlier in the show today because the Cavaliers played what I thought, and I texted Tim last night, one of their best games from start to finish. Focusedness, aggressiveness, completeness. They win by 26. Tim, where does that win last night rank for you calling all these games?
Yeah, I would agree with you, Kenny, and I acknowledged that in your text last night. From start to finish, they dominated that game. Philly was never in it. The crowd was never in it. Cavs went up by 17 in the first, led by 15 at the end of one. At one point, pushed it out to 22. Philly got it down to 11. You could feel a little energy there, and then bang, Cavs just pushed it right back out to 20 or more, and at one point led by 30. I mean, they were just dominant all night long.
Tim, these baseball series, you've got 2 games away at Philadelphia with a game or the day in between with nothing to do. What does the team do? They practice? Do they study film? Or are they just on their own until tomorrow morning?
No, they did practice. We went over to Temple and had a practice. Now, it was a very light practice. Just got some shots up, did some walk-through things. Kenny certainly didn't put them through the paces, and but it was light. And now, once we got back, the guys are pretty much on their own until shoot around tomorrow morning for the game Friday night.
Did you know anything about this Kenny Atkinson challenge that he issued pregame yesterday before the game, according to Chris Fedor, Tim?
I did not know anything about that. It was interesting because I always attend Kenny's pregame press conference, and he appeared a little more on edge. And I thought, well, this is interesting. Now, coming off that loss to Utah, I think everybody was on edge. That was a big game last night. It's hard to say that about Game 42 in the middle of January, but coming off that loss to Utah, that left a sour taste in a lot of mouths. And I did notice in the press conference last night, he seems a little bit more edgier. So, but I did not know about the pregame chat.
That's good. I mean, we've been waiting for this team to really break out and play like that, and we want to see if they can, string a few wins together like that. Even though they were 5 of 7, 7 of 10, that Utah loss left a bad taste in our mouths.
Yeah.
They win 133-107 yesterday, and Tim, for me, and I don't know about you, but normally when we're done, we either go down to the interview room afterwards, listen for the coach or whatever. But last night on the TV, because it was broadcast on both networks, and I watched the postgame network so I could see the interview with Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's being interviewed by, I think, AC, and in the background, Kenny, you've probably seen this before. I never have. It seemed as though there were some 76er players still getting shots in. Is that normal after a home game?
Oh, yeah. I've seen that happen
Really?
at Rocket Arena on several occasions, especially if a guy's struggling, didn't have a good night. Usually they'll go into the locker room and whatever coach has to say, and then, they'll break. And I've had that occurrence at Rocket Arena where a guy will come back out. I've seen DG do it. I've seen Sam Merrill do it. They just want to get more shots up for whatever the case may be. And so I wasn't surprised to see that last night. I was at the arena, and I witnessed that as well, JT, that guys for Philly came back out and wanted to get some shots up.
One of those guys was, it's all about to be Andre Drummond's, because he shot like 2 air balls from three-point range yesterday, so he was out there jacking them up along with others, and they needed to get their work in after the Cavaliers blew them out by 26. Donovan with 35, and you mentioned it already in this interview, Tim Alcorn. You said every time Philly made a run, the Cavs answered, and most of the time that answer came from what number is Donovan Mitchell again? He wears what number?
That'd be 45.
45. It came from number 45, did it not, last night?
He had one of those majestic Donovan Mitchell type of nights. 35 points, 9 assists. He was an assist away from a double-double, 7 rebounds. He just did it all, 5 of 12 from beyond the arc. And, guys, it was that third quarter. He had 8 at the half, and yet the Cavs still had the big lead. But it was in that third when Philly got it down to 11. And, again, you could feel a little bit of spark in the crowd and in the Philly players. And Donovan said, no, that's not happening. And he ripped a 20-point third quarter and basically said, that's it. That's enough. It was all NBA vintage Donovan Mitchell last night. He was just sensational.
You know who's about to be vintage if he just plays like he did last night? Evan Mobley, 17 and 13. We're still waiting for a little bit more of that from Jared Allen. But talk about Evan.
Well, as you said, the double-double, 17 and 13, the 4 blocked shots. He had it all going.
Holy Mobley!
Man, did he get up on that one?
Yeah, I see you picked up on that. But,
yes.
I mean, he just had one of those nights. And, we already know Evan is an elite defensive player, meaning defensive player of the year. But it's the offensive game. And I think maybe the Cavs were asking too much of Evan. Maybe he was putting too much pressure on himself. But he seems to have settled in now offensively, where he's comfortable in what he's doing on the floor. And that was on display last night. As you said, JT, 7 of 10 from the field.
I'm looking at his line, too. Efficient defense, offense. He only took 1 3-pointer. AC asked him about that after the game, early in the game. He had a couple of threes he could have taken. He went to the basket. And that I need him. Hey, I'm fine with him shooting threes, Tim Alcorn. I need him, though, to work from the inside out. Get your points early. Get down in that low block. Shoot that lefty-righty hook. Get a couple of dunks. And then eventually work your way out and take what the defense gives you. And that's what I thought he did a great job of yesterday.
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Kenny. He's developed a nice little turnaround. You mentioned that hook shot. When he goes into the lane, he's got that length. He's got that size. So he'll just pop it up there with either hand. So he's become very comfortable with that. And I agree with you. And I don't know if he was entirely comfortable with all of the threes that he was taking. Sure,
right.
Go shoot a few during the game. But I think the strength of his game is those mid-range and those paints in the point.
Tim, the bad news last night, obviously DG goes down again with a different foot injury. You mentioned today they had a light practice at Temple. Was there any Darius Garland sightings? And for that matter, Sam Merrill walking wounded as well. We don't expect him tomorrow night. Who's going to pick up the slack as our shooters?
Well, first of all, over at Temple today, again, it was light, but both DG and Sam were there, and they were dressed for a practice, so it wasn't like they were walking around in street clothes. Now, again, the Cavs have not issued any sort of status report. To me, that's a good sign. Usually if there's an injury that's, going to be somewhat significant, the Cavaliers PR department will put out a status, hey, this happened, and we expect this. There hasn't been anything along those lines, and the Cavs have not put out their injury report for tomorrow night. So, again, knock on wood, hopefully neither injury for DG or for Sam Merrill was significant last night. I think you'll see Craig Porter Jr. Get even more minutes if DG and Sam Merrill go down for a while. I think Jalen Tyson has shown that he can man a backcourt spot if it's required. I don't think that's where the Cavs want him to play, but they could put him in the backcourt. So there's some versatility with that lineup, and hopefully Kenny Atkinson won't have to tinker with it too much, but he's been able to play with those lineups earlier this year and really throughout the year with the injuries that the Cavs have had. So I think they'll be all right. But again, hopefully we won't have to worry about that.
Let's hope so, because DG started to play some good basketball as of late, right? So hopefully this isn't a setback where we don't see him for a while, right? Don't you agree, Tim, whether he's been able to figure out how to manage the pain or he's just getting healthy? As of late, he's been playing better basketball.
100% agree. Going into last night, he had averaged 21 points per game in 6 games. So it was coming back. You could see that. You could see that energy and that drive to the hoop, the push, the acceleration. You were seeing the all-star DG. So, yeah, he's the guy that kind of stirs the drink. He gets everybody involved. I know there's been a lot of talk lately about that floater. When he takes it into the paint, it opens up so many different options. He can shoot that floater. He can dish. He can lob. And, yeah, we're seeing the DG that we saw before the foot surgery.
Tim, what about Philly? I mean, if this were a normal back-to-backer, probably no Joel Embiid, but with a day in between, you think he plays tomorrow night? I mean, is that the norm for them?
Yeah, again, they haven't issued their injury report for tomorrow night as well. So, again, I don't speak for Philly, but if it's not a back-to-back, I would think you would see Embiid go. Again, they're monitoring his games played and his minutes per game. So that remains to be unseen. But without it being a back-to-back, I would think you'd see him on the floor tomorrow night.
Tim, how were they able to hold Maxey to 14 points?
Jalen Tyson. I mean, Tyson was just all over him defensively. And as much as Tyson's offensive game has grown, especially his three-ball shooting, had 3 more last night, he just hounded Tyrese Maxey. He was in his shirt from the opening tip, and they held Maxey to a 14-point ball game last night. So you're not going to do that every night. Listen, Maxey's a great scorer, 31 per game, but outstanding defensive effort on Maxey last night by the Cavs, and in particular, JT.
Mm-hmm. Couple of good ones coming up tomorrow night, obviously in Philly. Martin Luther King Day, an afternoon tip-off, 2:30 tip at home versus OKC, Tim. That's going to be a great weekend.
Oh, a tremendous weekend. And again, OKC, after looking unbeatable for the first 30-some-odd games of the year, they've kind of come back to earth a little bit. They're still the defending champs and a great team, don't get me wrong, but they haven't been playing at the level that they were playing through the first third of the year. So, yeah, it'll be electric at Rocket Arena on Monday afternoon. I like these afternoon games. I think it's great. I think there's a different atmosphere to them, and being Martin Luther King Day and the defending champs in town, that place will be really roaring on Monday.
Tim Alcorn, our guest, Cavs play-by-play man. You hear him all the time here on WHBC calling the action with Jim Jones. He had a great call last night. Big win for the Cavaliers last night. And, Tim, when I watched last night, and I said this to JT, first quarter I was like, okay, good start, but can they do it in the second quarter? Hey, got a lead at halftime. Are they going to get blown out in the third? Oh, they got the lead after 3 quarters. Are they going to let them back in the fourth quarter? That's why I said it's the most complete game. Why do you think there has been maybe that one quarter each game where they end up giving up 35, 40-some points, but we didn't see it last night?
Yeah, that's a great question. And Kenny Atkinson, I think if he had the answer to that, he'd bottle it, because there was that inconsistency of play, and certainly those quarters, as you said, for quite a stretch, it was the second quarter. And then all of a sudden the Cavs would find themselves down at the half, and you're fighting uphill. And a lot of times they came back, but too many times you put yourself in too deep of a hole. So to your point, last night, aside from the fact when Philly took a 22-point lead and got it to 11, and the NBA game, any basketball game is a game of runs, Philly made their run, but the Cavs staved it off. And I think that's what Kenny's looking for, that 48-minute full-throttled effort. And the Cavs last night, to your point, they kept their pedal to the metal. They never let Philly truly back in the ball game. And if you have that type of consistency more often than not, you're going to win. Now, why it hasn't been there, that I don't know. And I don't think Kenny truly knows the answer to that. But they're searching for it, and I think hopefully they found it last night.
One eye on the Cavaliers, and I'm sure your other eye is firmly focused on the Buffalo Bills. Tim Alcorn, you got a big one. Saturday, 4:30, you're on the road to Denver. But I have to ask you a trivia question because we were talking Buffalo Bills football earlier today as well. Trivia question to you, should you accept it?
Well, I'll accept it, of course.
We had Lou Picone on the program. It was a
Lou, number 89.
No, you already guessed it. I didn't even ask the question yet.
Oh, you didn't ask?
I was going to ask if you knew what number he was. You're good, man.
I know my Buffalo Bills history. Lou Picone, he had been a New York Jet, kind of a smaller receiver, but I think he was in the Chuck Knox era, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Kenny. I mean, that's why he's the best.
He is. He knows his Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like Tim Alcorn in the Buffalo Bills.
I didn't even get to ask the question. He answered it before.
He knew. Number 89. Well, here's the reason we have on, Timmy. One of JT's best friends, his name is John Picone. John Picone is a Bills fan because of his last name, because of Lou Picone. He became a fan of the Bills because of the same last name. And so we had Lou on with us, and he's going to come back on with us again. So maybe we'll do that in the summer, and we'll get you, John Picone, Lou Picone, all the Bills fans together and celebrate maybe a Super Bowl championship. How's that?
Well, listen, you're down there in Canton, and there's plenty of Buffalo Bills right down the road in the Hall of Fame. So, we just got to get that ring. So we'll see. We'll see. Saturday, I have a good feeling about Saturday. But, guys, who's going to beat Houston in the AFC? Even if the Bills play the Texans, that would have to be in Houston, and I don't know. That Houston,
that's a hell of a defense, right?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it is
so fast and so physical. They hit you, man. I would not be looking forward to that one if it ends up.
Yeah, but hopefully you get to look forward to it, Tim. Though, right? Hopefully there's that chance because I'm rooting for the Bills. Okay, that's that. My Steelers are out. Hallelujah! They fired Mike Tomlin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I've got some exciting things to look forward to with the Steelers. But since they're out, I am a Bills fan. I'm jumping on the bandwagon with you and Pick and everybody else.
Well, you can't just jump on the bandwagon. You got to jump on a table as well. Then, Kenny, you're fully indoctrinated.
Oh, well, how about sitting at the table eating? Does that count? I'm good at that. Okay, all right.
Wings, yes.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow then, or Saturday. I'm getting Buffalo wings, rooting for Buffalo, for my good buddy Tim Alcorn to get his childhood team into the Super Bowl and winning that championship for the first time in history. Does that sound good?
Hey, they're playing for me, Lou Picone, and other Buffalo Bill player fans.
Oh, you're the best, Tim Alcorn. Enjoy those cheesesteak sandwiches in Philadelphia. Bring us a winner tomorrow night, and good luck on Saturday with your Bills. All right, pal?
All right. Hey, man, always good to talk to the best pick and roll combo in Canton. Great to talk to you guys.
Great to talk to you, too. There he is, radio voice of your Cleveland Cavaliers and Buffalo Bills fan, Tim Alcorn on the Kenny and JT Show.
It's Kenny and JT on WHBC.